They've been part of Savannah for 40 years now. They're the barbershop singers, and with me is the 13th Colony Sounds president, Mr. Bob Kearns. Mr. Kearns, welcome.
Thanks, Ray. Good to be here.
Oh, always good to have you, and always good to talk to you. And it's good to be part of this show because, fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, hopefully not unfortunately, you guys have asked me to be part of this show. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Remember Radio. First of all, where did the concept for doing Remember Radio come from? Because it's being put on just as if it were an old-fashioned, old-time radio show.
Well, don't forget that before television, radio was the preferred form of entertainment in this country. People would gather around the radio on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, Saturday nights, and bring their main squeeze into a romantic mood and let the guys on the radio present the proper attitude.
Yep.
And what we're trying to do is go back in time about 60 years and show you what exactly a live radio broadcast may have looked like were you sitting in the radio audience.
Because if you were attending a live radio broadcast, and there are some folks who are, I guess we can say old enough and not offend anybody, there are some folks who are old enough to remember going to those old programs, sitting in the audience, and watching, whether it was a drama or comedy unfold, complete with the sound effects done right there in front of you, and that's how we're doing this show next week.
That's correct, and it's important, I think, for the young people to understand how entertainment was presented prior to television, and they're going to have an opportunity to see that next week at Armstrong.
Now, the concept for this show, I mean, the Barbershoppers put on shows every year. Who came up with the exact idea of putting on an old-time radio show, Bob?
Well, Ray, this show was actually written by the staff of something called the Harmony University. Now, of course, our chorus here in Savannah is the local affiliate of the International Barbershop Harmony Society, which sponsors Harmony University, an opportunity for any members of the organization to bone up on their arranging or choral skills, directing skills by attending this university on a weekly basis each year out in Western Missouri University. The faculty of that college actually wrote this show as a way of consolidating some of the ideas that preceded television, and it's a riot. It really is. It encapsulates a mystery show within the live audience, presentation of music by our chorus, and it's going to be a fun evening for all who attend.
Some very unique arrangements of Johnny's music, or at least a few of his songs. We hope you'll be with us this coming Friday and Saturday at the Remember Radio Show being put on by the 13th Colony Sound at Armstrong Atlantic State University. Bob Kearns, the president of the 13th Colony Sound, joining us for a portion of this hour on the Hit Parade. And this show, it's an old-fashioned, old-time radio show, as we've alluded to before, but it includes a couple of different forms of the old-style radio entertainment. You've got the music, certainly, but you're also incorporating drama, or kind of sort of an old-time detective drama in this.
Yes, it's a fictitious story about Bart Holiday, the famous detective of the 1940s, and he is involved in solving the rum spice caper during our show. And, of course, it's complete with the sound booth and all the awkward sounds, and it would be amazing to see how some of these sound effects are actually created. Yeah,
it's fun watching it in rehearsal, that's for sure. And I say that I get to see it in rehearsal is because they, fortunately, for me, and I hope fortunately for them, have asked me to be a part of this show in the unlikely role of the radio announcer, the guy who introduces all of the acts and whatnot. But there's going to be some great music as well. The entire chorus, the 13th Colony Sound chorus, is going to be singing. There are quartets within your chorus also. And also some great young singers, Savannah Storm, which is made up of all young men, mostly high school and college students, I believe. Those guys are just fantastic.
Yes, we've been very proud to begin that organization and see it rise to stardom within the first year of its existence. These young men won the first place trophy of their plateau down at Tampa at the international competition last January, and will be going to Las Vegas in January of 2011 representing Savannah again.
It's called Remember Radio. It's an old-time radio show live on stage both nights. Starts promptly at 7:08. What's with the weird start time? I saw that on the posters, like 7:00. It's not 7 o'clock or 7:30. It's 7:08, Bob.
Well, in the Broadway district, to allow people time to get through the traffic that's always so rampant in Times Square.
That
Most
makes sense.
Shows actually start at 8 minutes after the hour.
Okay.
And we have found out that that's such an unusual item on the poster that everybody will remember the time.
Absolutely. That's yeah. And I've been meaning to ask you that for weeks now, and I just now thought of it when I happened to look down at a copy of the poster that we have here. So 7:08 is when it starts, but get there a little bit early because what people will see is what actually would happen if a radio show were being put on. People on the stage. You're not going to just see a bare stage and then people all of a sudden showing up to do a show. We're going to be out there actually getting ready to do a live radio show as people are filing in.
That's right. And we'll also have some singing jingles, Ray, advertising some of the businesses in Savannah.
The old-style commercial jingles live on stage there,
That's exactly right. People will be holding their lines and dropping them on the floor because that's what happened in radio.
Sure. And we mentioned some of the talent that's going to be there already, in addition to the 13th Colony Sound, the young men's group Savannah Storm, also a wonderful group of young ladies who I had the privilege of seeing at your show last year, the Skylarks from the Savannah Arts Academy.
Diane Stallings and her Skylarks will again be appearing this year, Ray. It's, I believe, the 5th consecutive year of their participation in our show. They bring a dimension of entertainment that is extremely professional. And if the audience has not heard these young ladies from Savannah Arts Academy singing before, please attend our show to hear them for the first time.
And you have a special guest quartet coming in all the way from Terre Haute, Indiana, Until Further Notice is their name.
Yes, they will actually be singing the call letters of the station, KORD, incidentally. And they have done this routine before and were willing to come down and sing it for us again.
Of course, last year, I was fortunate to be part of your show as part of the Johnny Mercer Centennial that was all Johnny Mercer music, and there was a drama put on about Mr. Mercer. And Johnny Mercer is going to be well represented at this particular show, too.
That's correct. We did a number of his songs in the a cappella style last year at our show called And the Angels Sing, which brought the audience to Bonaventure Cemetery, as you'll recall, a funny place for a show. But not in Savannah.
Not in Savannah. That's perfectly normal here.
But this year we have resurrected a song from a movie called The Varsity Show, which came out in 1937. The closing number of that movie was a Bugsy Beasley extravaganza called Love is on the Air Tonight. And this song was brought to my attention by our chapter historian, Jack Diamond, who anybody familiar with the Diamond Causeway will remember that Jack and his dad built that causeway out to the landing some years ago.
Yep.
But Jack Diamond brought this song to my attention. We hired an arranger to put it in the barbershop style, and I think it's a showstopper. It's a terrific song, and we're energized to bring yet another Johnny Mercer song to your listeners.
And a Johnny Mercer song that, as you alluded to, probably not a lot of people have heard unless they are Johnny Mercer files. And I know we have plenty of those in the audience, but and we do play some rarities on the hit parade, but you talk about a rarity. Dick Powell sang the song in Varsity Show, and as you said, Busby Berkeley, that was, I believe, the only scene that he choreographed for the movie Varsity Show. But that's a rarity. That's one that you don't hear every day.
That's correct. You can hear the Dick Powell version on YouTube. I can't find it on a recording anywhere.
No, if he did record it, it's lurking somewhere out there, but it's not easily available. But it will be available, and you can hear it in the barbershop style if you come to Remember Radio next Friday and Saturday at Armstrong, Atlantic State. It's going to be a great show, and we really hope that you can be there. Once again, I get to be on stage. I'm lucky enough to be part of this with the 13th Colony Sound. Get your tickets now because, notice about this show has been out for a while, so we hope that tickets are hard to come by. Then again, we want you to see the show. They're $15 in advance, $20 at the door. How do folks get their tickets, Bob?
They can either go online to tickets.savannahbarbershoppers.org and leave their name and they will be contacted, or they can call our answering service at 912-351-7388 to reserve tickets.
912-351-7388, or the website for tickets, once again, is tickets.savannahbarbershoppers.org, and we hope to see you there. It's going to be a whole lot of fun next Friday and Saturday at the Armstrong Atlantic State Fine Arts Auditorium. Bob Kearns is the president of the 13th Colony Sound. Sure appreciate you doing this, Bob.
Thanks, Ray. Great to be here.
Well, it's always good to have you. Bob Kearns with the 13th Colony Sound, the barbershoppers. Go see them, and me too, but especially go see them because they're going to be the talent portion of the evening. Remember Radio, next Friday and Saturday at Armstrong Atlantic State.